I don't mean to get serious right away, but
Hey,
uh,
sounds like one of those. I'm gonna have to talk to you. I wanna talk to you about some.
I went to Richmond, and I got a tour of the city. You know, you talk about all the classics, not classics, but like all the um, controversial things about taking the statues down, and
Yeah.
you learn about history of
the Richmond.
who signed what, like all this really like
Mm-hmm.
we can debate about that for hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I went, there wasn't a lot of space to park to go to the Capitol one day, and then I went 2 times. The first time we had really little time, so we couldn't park near the Capitol, and then we couldn't park near this river.
Is Richmond the capital?
I'm not sure if it's the Capitol. I just know that's where they have all
or
the.
if it's like Vicksburg or something.
That's where they have all the
historical.
mhm.
Yeah.
But we ended up at a church, and it was one of the churches that like one of the oldest churches. Got to be like 1700s, like just old, right? And it's still preserved, and it has a lot. When you go inside, it has a lot of like how it looked back in the day, and that's where, like, I can't remember exactly the name. I'm bad with that, but they were giving speeches against the crown, like that old.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That old.
Yes.
Oh, like Revolutionary War.
Yes.
Okay. When you said it, I was thinking like Civil War.
Even before
era
that,
old.
kind of. I mean, it was all kind of
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
But what stuck in my mind a lot was that, you die, right? And we all know that eventually, like, after a certain amount of years, like, people forget everything.
Years?
And everyone, right?
Days.
No, like,
Yeah.
for example, like...
If it's something historic, obviously, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, at a personal level.
Mm.
Like, you die, and probably, like, 4 or 5 generations after you, like, no one's gonna remember who you are. Like, I don't know who my great-great-grandfather is. Right?
Yeah.
So you always think, like, well, people should get cremated to, like, don't spend money, or,
Yep.
you can take it, that's the simpler way, or you can take it to the level of, like, cartels where they make, like houses, and that's where that's what they literally build a house in a cemetery, and then they bury their family members in the house. So when you go so you go
No, not like, okay, let me clarify.
Yeah.
Not like the pharaohs where they bury their life family member. Like
No.
Okay.
Like current days.
Okay.
Current times.
So as they're dying, they're buried there.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's, like you said cartel, and I thought of like the Egyptians where they'll be like, they'll bury their horses and their servants in there with them. No.
So pretty much what I'm trying to depict is that there's 2 sides of it, right?
Yep.
The super extravagant, like, let's make this thing people can visit. So, that's why they make tombstones, and you have the names and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This church, a lot of churches, like back in the day, they would bury people like or outside the church, right?
Mm.
And I'd never seen, like, in person, a tombstone that was just faded completely.
Didn't even have names?
Didn't have any names.
But the tombstone itself is still...
There were a bunch of tombstones that they were just so old that it was just a rock. So, like, it was like, I've always had that thought, like, like you better enjoy life, because, like, after a few years, like, no one's gonna remember you, right?
Yeah.
You just hope that what you did has a long impact, right?
Man.
But as a name,
that's
like,
crazy.
Yeah,
but
even
the ones that are carved in stone.
Exactly. So
the stone was rejected.
Even the ones that were, like, people took time to make sure that people remember them.
Yeah.
They just faded. It's just it's just a tombstone, blank tombstone.
Man.
But I've never seen one in person, because the concept you
Did
think
you take
about,
a picture?
I took a picture. Yeah.
Can you show me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah. But
I've never seen a blank tombstone either, so I'm...
Yeah, you don't think about...
I never even had to think of that.
Right. But I just remember walking by the church and seeing those and thinking, whoa.
Dude, that must have been like such a solemn moment of just...
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, reflection and life hitting you.
Look at that.
What?
It's just like...
That's just rain,
years of rain,
weather, and...
Yep.
And all of them, not even that single one.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh my.
Isn't that crazy?
I've never seen such a thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking, man, people debate and fight about everything, but like at the end of the day,
you'll be forgotten.
Yeah, everyone forgets everything.
You'll be forgotten real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I always laugh at that. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok. It's like this guy he just does different versions of like at the church, like little skits. Mm-hmm. And he has this one where it's at a wake, right? And he has the person who lost their family member, mm-hmm. and they're there just like crying at the wake, and then it pans over to the other side and you just see people dancing like shake my mind, and then the sad guy looks over at them and the dude dancing looks and he's like, oh, and then he just continues dancing. And true, I feel like that's kind of the moral of the story there. Like, you be forgotten as soon as they put you under. Yeah,
I mean, in a way you want like at some point when I pass, like if I have family that loves me or kids and stuff, if you would still, I mean, you never know, you would
your
still,
family loves you, man.
Yeah. My future one.
Oh, okay.
Most of my family is older.
Progeny.
It's older than me, I guess.
Yeah,
but you would hope that they accept it and they can move on, you know. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to like eternally suffer, you know.
I think they'll move on. Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
How do you want to be buried? Oh, do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated?
Well, I always thought that, because I remember I'm all about rituals, like rituals in traditions and like
okay,
how people decide to do certain things depending on the cultures. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very special like moment, you know, for everyone involved. Mm-hmm. So I always thought like, I mean, it would be cool to get buried like in how they bring you down the dirt and then people throw, because I saw that's how they did it from one of my grandmas. And
what does the I'm actually curious, what does the pre look like for before they're buried? Like,
pre?
So once they die,
mm-hmm.
take us play by play in your culture how you do it.
Well, it's actually not very like strange from the normal way. I've just seen
the
that
normal way. It's different normal ways.
I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you asked like what would I think, right?
Yeah.
First of all, closed casket.
Okay.
We don't need to see no open.
No.
Nothingness. No. You've seen some cultures. I mean, I don't know if this is like, I don't know how cultural this is or how just like over the top it is. Like, I would have to dig into it. But there's people that like, you know how have open caskets, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them have like people sitting in a position of what they used to do. You ever seen that?
I think I saw a meme of one. I don't know if it was true, but he was standing like a soccer player. Yeah. That is crazy.
So like, I hope that gives people peace or like enjoyment. I don't know.
I can see it because I see it as like honoring. You want to remember that person as in what they found joy in the most.
I'd be so, like sitting down in a drum chair, like this. And
we can.
No.
So
you've seen open caskets, I assume, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the couple ones I saw was, one of them was my grandma and another one was the brother-in-law of one of my friends, and it to me it just feels like they're not there anymore. Yeah.
So, but if they're not there, it doesn't hurt to give them a little.
I don't like that memory. I don't like that memory of my grandma. Pretty much. I think we briefly mentioned this. In another podcast.
So you prefer to just
I think
have the memory in your head, not the physical.
I think so.
The physical body.
Yeah, but the next day at the burial for my grandma, they have a procession line of cars.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask. Like, what is that process? Is it they die and they're buried like a few days later, or do you guys have a certain amount of time?
Well, this is as Western as culture as you can see. Like, it's not. There's no special difference really
compared to America.
Compared to
because I'm coming from like compared to the Kenyan way of seeing it, and even with the Kenyan, there's different tribes do it differently. Mm. There's one where they bring the body and it stays in the house. And then people
for how long? Well, tell me about that.
It's like 7 days. I need to verify on how many days. Yeah, and that one our tribe doesn't do it that way. It's there's the viewing. You can go see it at the mortuary. But then for the older ones, most people are buried in like their land, their own land. Yeah. So when you're talking about your grandma, I was like, oh, okay. I wonder if you guys do it that way. Is it just buried in like a public?
Procession and then public burial, and then there's usually a pastor that prays over the situation. I did like they allowed people to throw things as they were being rolled down.
Just anything?
Yeah, I mean, not anything, but like they would do flowers or
they gave you stuff to throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of my aunts like threw like a necklace or something like that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that whole day was I remember it very, very clearly. I don't know why. I think it was just like the first experience I had with that. But yeah, and I remember my aunt being really just, I mean, the kids, the women very upset, crying over the box.
The casket.
Yeah.
Or was it? Maybe it was a box. It wasn't just a box. It wasn't just a pine box.
You know how they do the processions, right?
Yeah.
I saw online recently a procession where they have a person walking in front of the car. How cool! And I remember thinking, man, that's really symbolic. That looks really cool because the person was dressed all in black, and in this middle of the street, the person was just walking, and then all the cars were behind it.
Yeah. Cool.
I think I would rather it be. I mean, it sounds a little crazy, but I think I would rather ask who's gonna be experiencing it. Is that a crazy thought?
No.
Because like I don't
that way.
I don't know. I feel like if it was for me, I would just do a ceremony. Like I guess you can plan it, right? Like you would just do a ceremony and have some people talk, and then get cremated, and then maybe I think the idea of throwing the ashes somewhere special is cool. But
like down to the Gulf of America. Of Mexico.
I mean, I don't know, something cool. I never thought about it as much, but it's also cheaper, I guess.
Is it?
Cremation, I think, is cheaper. Yeah.
I'm actually.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at the prices of cremation lately.
And I think and I say all that too because of also. I bring this up because I always thought that the way that they did my grandma's funeral was really symbolic, and I think people enjoyed what happened, although it was really sad. Like there was like closure. This person is under the ground.
And I think I appreciate that bit of it.
Yes.
Doing it in that manner. And I mean, for us, we have a few days for the wake. It's called Mambo Lazy, like where people come to the house, you share memories. I mean, it's usually a very planned kind of thing. And if there's any preparations that need to be done, like you give updates on, okay, this is what's going to happen. So, and then on the day of, I think the notion of like getting a chance to also throw, like for my grandpa, I remember you grab some soil and you toss it. And for me, that sound is always in my head, though. It's funny.
Really?
When the soil hits the coffin. Like,
interesting.
But there's a closure to that. Yeah. And because you start, they call the families grab their soil, they do. Then everybody else extended, maybe a few extended people. Then it's like, after that, they call like the young men, like, hey, nani, come through. Everybody gets a shovel. Shoo. And it's literally right after the family has had their chance to throw, the covering of that coffin goes so quickly. And I feel like there's such a closure to that. It's like, okay, you had your moment. You said your goodbye.
Yeah.
Then we lay the flowers and off we go to eat.
And I say that, right, as that was the best, or in my head, that. And then I saw those tombstones that were like completely blank, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, no one's gonna remember at some point. So
it's not gonna matter.
Make it as I don't know, as simple as possible, I guess.
I like the idea of having it defined of how you want to do it. I think that it makes it easy for the people at that time. They don't have to start thinking of, oh, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Will he have wanted a coffin? Will he have wanted a cremation? Like, it's, they already think at that moment, they'll be missing, and they'll be feeling just the loss and the love. Like, they don't have to think about the burial bit of things. So if you've set up,
they'll sit you up on a drum thing and put you in a drumming position instead.
Put some bionic arms. He wanted his last song to be.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, I think it makes it. It's the same. I see it the same way as having a will and a living trust, and having that stuff. Just, it's the logistics of that kind of event of dying that I don't think you need to pass that weight to the people at that time to figure it out. I think is my view.
Yeah. It seems like if that's not set in place, people just fight over what's left.
And just make it clear. This is what I want. And also, I think if you do it that way, you also can, you can also add maybe some humor to it. Like, for me, I want everybody to come wear some Hawaiian shirts. Like, I really have thought about that. Like,
no way.
Yes,
Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
Maybe if you're buried in Hawaii.
No, why not? Yeah. Like, make it a celebration of life. Like, how do you turn it into because at the end of the day, the emotions and the loss will be felt. So maybe how do you make that easier for the people who are left?
Maybe that could be cool. Like, throw a concert. Have people throw a concert.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be a cool way too. Well, that would be kind of nasty, I guess. But one of my favorite things in life is to go into mosh pits and someone
raise you up.
Well, the ashes, you know.
Oh, so you
can get the ashes and.
Oh. Aye. Yeah, that'd be a little nasty.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah. No, but if you're gonna, how are they gonna do ashes and also lay it, like put you down in the ground?
I haven't decided. I'm saying like it can be both things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, I definitely wanna do the ground one, and the reason is also there's just a bit of like then you become food for something else, right? Yeah. Like from the ground, out of the ground you came, and from the ground you return.
There's some companies
it feels like a full.
There's some companies that I don't know exactly what the middle process is, but they like I think with the soil of the cremation or something like that, they can build a tree.
I think I saw something on that. Yeah. That'd be a cool
It's
one.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be obsessed. Like, I don't know, I would be obsessed with that tree living forever. So it would be even just stress.
Some ancestor comes down, chops it off.
I don't know.
Have you done that activity of writing your own obituary before?
No.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's cool. I think it's good self-reflection. Yeah. I feel like I'm on that mode all the time, so
hey, memento mori.
I don't need to add that to the list. But I think it's most times it's good. I think it's probably I haven't done it, but I would think that it's mostly good to know what you want to like to find the things that you shouldn't be doing to get to that point. I would think so, you know.
Yeah. I
feel like that's what it's used for, no? Mostly.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. Like reflecting, starting from the end, and then now walking backwards. Yeah. Like if normally one of the questions we have asked is, what do you want your children to say of you at your own funeral?
Right.
And so how do you live that kind of life to where your kids will say such things, or not will say, they will have experienced you in that manner. Yeah. I found it useful. I did it way back. I want to do it again to just, and then see what has changed.
I wonder if you can do it with like your wife or like, you know, like you're one now, so you would do the same.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that'd be a good exercise.
There's gotta be a version for that, no?
I bet. Yeah. I mean, I feel like then you'll be at one point that will just increase that oneness. Like, okay, how do you view yourself at that point?
Yeah.
Let's come together and then let's work so that we have that kind of ending. Interesting.
It's a cool idea.
It is. I'm gonna ask my wife if she wants to do it.
I wonder if she's done it.
I've never asked her. Maybe she has before.
Do you remember any other answers you had for that?
I wrote mine down. I can go grab it really quick. It's been a while. I did it the first time I read that book. Is it the seven habits of effective people? Or one of those. It had like do that as one exercise. So I think I did it like my freshman year of college.
Dang.
Yeah. So at that time I wasn't thinking spouse necessarily. I think it was like, okay, who will I want to speak? What would I want my friends to say? What would I want my family to say?
Cool.
Yeah. And that's where I got the idea of the nice Hawaiian shirts and joyful music. I think I wanted them to play the Beatles. Maybe my choice has changed at this point.
Yeah.
I think I wanted them to play either Here Comes the Sun or Michelle or maybe Strawberry Fields, one of those three songs. And it's just going to be a very light, celebratory moment.
Yeah, I think religion also helps when that happens.
Yeah.
Because I remember, at least I remember my family when there was a family funeral. There was this like little like level of like peace that they had. And then when I'd go to other funerals where the family wasn't as big of believers in that way, it was a lot of just like sadness.
Like they feel the pain.
Yeah.
Huh. So for the utility of just having faith and religion,
yeah, I guess so.
There is just for comfort's sakes even. Yeah. Man, that's crazy that someone can then just choose to not have that. It's like you have a mighty comforter with you for those kind of moments.
I think people just find it useful in different parts of their life. Some people never want to find it. Some people like to find it early. That's too deep right now. It's a Monday,
bro. We're talking about death and what we'll want for our death.
Death is very tangible, you know.
More tangible than a comforter during death.
The action of it, yeah.
Sure. I don't think I can disagree with that. It's the most final tangible act. Sure.
Yeah. Did you do anything else? Or did you think of anything else this week?
Dude, I read some stuff that was
yeah,
crazy. Speaking of death. Let me show you this book. Where is it? I'm rereading. Okay, this can be the cut then.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book by Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth. And dude, it's got me going.
Let me see.
It's so Joseph Campbell obviously is known for what would you say, like a deep study on mythology from across different cultures in different places. And I got introduced to him obviously by Dr. Peterson, and then through, like, he recommended read Campbell to understand Jung's ideas. So that's where I started on that path. But this week, dude, I was reading that, and he mentions the idea of sacrifice. And I've been doing a little bit, going deeper and deeper. So even maybe next few podcasts, I want us to just hit that one specific topic, and we see. He gives this example of just how was sacrifice done in different cultures.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Like sacrifice as a like as an act of like a cultural act, or like a
like sacrifice as in kind of like Christ dying on the cross kind of sacrifice.
Okay.
So human sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's a huge component of it there.
Yeah, animals, humans.
Animals, humans, and then he compares, but he doesn't go deep and that's where I want to find exactly, because this book is structured where I think it was an interview or a conversation he was having. So it's like the way we're having a podcast here. I ask you a question, then you respond. So it's kind of back and forth like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he gives the example of, I don't want to misquote them. I don't know if it's the Iroquois, some Native American folks, Mayans, not Iroquois. Sorry.
Yeah.
Iroquois are the ones in Mexico, no?
Mayans are the one in
Mayans
Mexico.
are the ones in Mexico.
Yeah.
Iroquois are from Native America.
I never heard that one.
Okay. What were the ones in Aztecs, or the other ones? Those were in South America, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say for sure, but
Gotcha.
that area. There wasn't even like a division of continents at the time, so some of them are kind of in between both.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So even the Mayans, like the Mayan ruins in Mexico now, they're in what, southern Mexico, I take?
The Mayan ruins right now are in that area.
We should go check them out, bro, sometime.
Cancun those pyramids are an hour away from Cancun.
Oh, really? So when people go down there, they just you can go and see them?
Mm-hmm.
You went to Cancun, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I didn't go to the pyramids though.
Oh.
No, it is a whole like day of like getting there, and then you want to do it right, so you take your time. That's one of the areas where you know how they had that technology where you could talk depending on the location of the pyramid. You could talk to someone like straight, like from like so many like yards away from you, and they can hear you.
No, I did not know that.
You never seen that?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it were the Mayans that invented this, but with like a cone shaped like surface, you can put it in one area, and then you put it in this other area. So you can talk to the wall, and the shape of the wall makes it so the person across from it can hear it. So they have
technology. These guys
they have some areas there that you can go and literally like talk like super far away to someone else, just because you're like exactly in the position of how the pyramids are located. It's really cool.
Dude, that's cool. I'm putting that on my list.
Yeah, it's
definitely
cool.
of something I want to go check out.
Yeah, it's a more accessible pyramid experience than like going to Egypt.
Yeah. So he gives this example of the Mayans, and I'll just read it here directly.
Yeah.
The Mayan Indians had a kind of basketball game in which at the end, the captain of the winning team was sacrificed on the field by the captain of the losing team.
Right, because it was an honor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was reading that and I literally had to stop and go, what? Right? His head was cut off. Going to your sacrifice as the winning stroke of your life is the essence of the early sacrificial ideas. Right?
Yeah.
And I had to stop. I was reading that and I went like, what? Why would you sacrifice the ideal? And I remember I had, like I told when my wife got off work, I was like, yo, come I talk to you about this. I just read some stuff that has shocked me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you sacrifice why is the captain of the good team the one who gets sacrificed?
What do you think?
Versus let me finish the connection I had made first.
Okay.
I'm still going deeper on it though.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've reached the ends of it. Because it's the same thing as in Christ getting sacrificed too, right? It's like the best Oof. Of...
Depends on who you ask. Because I've actually heard this point of view, right? Because you can't prove, because no one was in Jesus' mind, right?
Yeah.
But some could argue that if the plan of God was for Jesus to die on the cross...
Yes.
That means that God is a God of that, like, I'm trying to say it as fair as possible, that finds suffering as something of value. So the consequence of Jesus dying on the cross being directly a decision from God that's what the idea is, would mean that God is like a God of suffering or pain, even. There's all these other adjectives, negative adjectives you can use, right?
Yeah.
But then the alternative for that is that Jesus was sacrificed by the Romans, and it wasn't God's plan.
But it wasn't God's plan, though.
Well,
okay, but
that's the concept, right? So, in the example you're giving for the Mayans, I believe they did literally believe that whatever gods they were worshipping, they saw sacrifice as a good thing.
Yes, like that basketball player wanted that. Like that was the ultimate experience and unity back to God.
Honor, yeah.
And honor. And then he also gives a different example of, like, I think that was where I was confusing. The other example is an Iroquois guy who, like, they were captured by these other Native Americans, and once they were captured, the process of killing them included so much torture. And the guy who was captured, he writes, so this is an account written by, I think it's in the 17th century. So these French Jesuit priests, they're doing their missionary thing on the, northwest over there, Washington, Oregon, I want to say that general area. And they're observing this. And the guy who is captured, who is going to be tortured, is like elated. You'll have thought it's his wedding day.
What?
Yeah, like he's happy, he's going, and the same thing, right? His captors too are treating him like he's the guest of honor. But
okay,
because to those Iroquois Indians, like the measure of the man was, in that moment of you being captured, if you could endure all that torture without flinching, without showing the pain, without showing fear, right? So I just thought that was crazy. That he knows he's going to the death, but he's going he's going to the sacrificial ground with such a happy heart.
Oof.
Okay, now let me. Okay. So yeah, I'm still wrestling with all these, men, because I encountered that too, and for me that was a reaction. I was like, oof, that is the craziest. I need to chew this. But then I thought of Christ. Like, when we think of Jesus and we wear the cross on our neck, like, we sometimes forget the horrific nature of that whole just moment by moment event of it. Carrying the cross, going up, like the pain that was, like, as you mentioned, that was part and parcel of him going all the way to I can't speak. Golgotha. How do you say it in Spanish? So reading that and then thinking of that account.
In Mexico, for some reason, they always call it El Calvario.
Calvary. Yeah.
But it says here also known as Golgotha. Yeah.
Yes. I think the physical place is Golgotha, but I think the Calvary is just like the spiritual thing, maybe. I need to get clarification on that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was just comparing the horrificness of that same to the horrificness of this Indian Iroquois guy or the Mayan guy getting sacrificed, getting crucified.
So, why I brought up this other point of view, right?
Of the Romans.
The point of view, that the Jesus dying in the cross was more so consequence of the Romans' decisions, more so than God, right? Because I don't think in the Bible, at least, if we go as the reference for this story, that Jesus really wanted to die in the cross. Because at some point, he asked for God to save him.
Yeah.
And, he opposed the Roman Empire and stuck to what he believed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he wanted it versus the examples you're giving where they do want it.
I think it was...
Because Jesus had to do it. Like in the Bible, right? The way they describe it is that he had to do it.
But he had to do it because it was written that that's what was going to happen. He was fulfilling prophecy too, a component of it, right?
Right. So, and I guess in the Bible as well, like it says that at some point he asked for God to not let him go through it.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's I'm trying to reconcile what you're saying. Because I think that's one big difference there. No? And I say that because I mean, you never know 100%, but I do at times would rather believe that that this awful torture that Jesus went through was more so of the decision of the Romans or whoever was in power versus God's like wanting him to go through that.
Okay, there I think I have a different view.
Yeah, and it's all
when it comes to that.
It's all a matter of interpretation of the Bible, right? So we don't want to get too deep.
I don't think it's a matter for that one though. I don't think it is though, because if you interpret it the Roman way, then it robs what the act represented, right? It robs what the crucifixion and the dying for the sins of mankind, and then
it does a little bit,
right?
yeah.
Because then it puts all that it robs him of agency. So that's why I was still thinking on your question of did he actually want to go?
Well, one thing is deciding that he was gonna let himself get crucified, and another one is to say, "Oh, I can't wait to get crucified," like these other guys. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying it's an observation.
No, it's an observation for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think for me I'm trying to equate them. I'm trying to pull the commonalities. That I'm seeing, because it's like it's still when you abstract it out. And I think when we have Dr. Peterson on the podcast, we'll have to ask him that. Really, because he said how he's studied. He feels like he's gotten a grasp of what sacrifice means, and he's gone through the biblical corpus. And I bet he's done a deep study of mythology and all this. So I want to know, like, what did you find out? Obviously, I think as I'm going deep on that study, I'll see maybe some things of what he found. Let me read you something. Really quick here, and then you can, because this also for me left me going like, this is part of the Acts of John. It's not, the Acts of John is not like one of the major books in the Bible. It's one of those side quest. I don't know, call them side quest books, but you know what I mean. It's like the Book of Enoch. It's one of those books that was kind of left out, right? And so this is from the Acts of John, and immediately before Jesus goes to be crucified. So this is the Last Supper. At the Last Supper, they are sitting about, and I'm just going to read it verbatim here. Just before they go out to the garden at the end of the Last Supper, Jesus says to the company, "Let us dance." And they all hold hands in a circle, and they circle around him. Jesus sings, "Glory be to thee, Father," to which the circling company responds, "Amen." Glory be to the Word. Glory be to thee, Word. And again, Amen. I will be born and I will bear. Amen. I will eat and I will be eaten. Amen. All right. Put an asterisk on that. Because when we do Holy Communion, we're literally partaking in eating the blood and body of Christ. Because I'm just trying to like bring it forth in my head to wrap around like all these things that we do symbolically too, that over time maybe like we've just done them where they become ritualized. Like we don't know what was the what was the intention, or what's the meaning? So, and then he continues, amen. Thou that dancest, see what I do, for thine is this passion of the manhood, which I'm about to suffer. Amen. I would flee and I would stay. Amen. I would be united and I would unite. Amen. A door am I to thee that knocketh at me. Away am I to thee, a wayfarer. And then the dance is ended. He walks out into the garden to be taken and crucified. So take that with however much grain of salt, because it's not part of the official canonical scriptures. But there seems to be a point of in that rendition of it, of like purpose within that suffering, within the sacrifice itself, going towards it. Like you're saying, these other guys, it's like, yeah, I won, like take me to the God. Versus what's the difference? The one with Christ too, definitely. I think in the main, when we're reading the Gospels, it's more like, this cup is bitter, but if I still have to do it, but not this cup is bitter, but if it's your will, still let it be done. Yeah, it seems a little bit. I agree with you on that one. It seems a little bit different of a approach.
Yeah.
But what happens is, to me, like, if we're to go abstract it all the way out, you're sacrificing the good. Why sacrifice the good? That's the question that I was asking. Yeah, because it's why not sacrifice the bad basketball player, or even in the beginning,
basketball player?
No, in the in the story, bro. Hey. In the story, in the tradition, they sacrificed the winning team's captain.
Imagine how boring these games were. Probably they were all like pretending like, I missed. If they were probably sacrificing the loser, those games would have been fire, dude. That sport still would have been going on right now. But they were all just bored. You had the whole mansion. Oh man.
Yeah. But really, why then? Why sacrifice the winning guy instead of...
Yeah.
Like, what does that represent when you sacrifice the good?
I think that's a good question to explain what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Something that came to mind right away is that I think as I'm getting older, I'm noticing that a lot of good things, especially when it comes down to relationships or personal, like, I guess because you have a relationship with yourself kind of thing, including that. Most things like fall onto that like concept, because people debate about what love is, people debate about when to do things, what to do, and I think most things that usually end up having the best outcome come with a sacrifice. And I don't think that's a crazy concept, right? But yeah, like that could be, you could summarize love that way, love is sacrifice, because in all facets, like you can sacrifice your time, what you put in, even for some people, like deciding to be with someone, you're technically sacrificing not being with anyone else, right? So that could be a type of sacrifice. And then personally too, like, would you rather sacrifice your current needs to make your future self like better in the future, right? So all that is very applicable to the term of sacrifice. So I guess with your question of like, why would they sacrifice the good, that is just maybe just the symbolism. Like, if you want to just be a little practical, like, I guess that could be the symbolism for what would bring the most good at the end. Because you can sacrifice, you never sacrifice boring things.
That's true.
You sacrifice
like something costly.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, I thought of if you sacrifice the ones that's meh, even the fruit of that will not be...
Sure, yeah.
Will not... So he gives the example of plant-based cultures also versus like animal-based cultures.
Really?
Because when you sacrifice a plant, like if you cut whatever, some other stuff sprout out of it. Not some other stuff. Other little plants sprout out of that part of it. But with animal cultures, if it's an animal, if you sacrifice it, that's it. And I thought of Cain and Abel in the Bible. Why was Cain's sacrifice not sufficient and Abel's sacrifice was? Like, was it that Cain did not sacrifice the best? So back to the idea.
I thought the story was that he didn't do it with joy or something like that. No,
I don't know if maybe initially he didn't do it with joy. He did it, but then he grumbled. He was like, why does he get? But I think that was after the choice of God, right? So is it to the idea of, if you don't sacrifice what is good, they can never, because that's gonna sound funny, they can never be what is better. That's like, life cannot,
I know what you mean,
blossom the same way if we don't sacrifice what is good. Like, I think of growing up a little bit in Kenya. When you're planting, when you want to plant the good seeds, like, out of the good crop is what you want to grab those seeds and then not sacrifice, but in essence, put them back to the ground to die again. And then from that arises stronger plants and stronger plants. Versus if you planted the weaker seed, you'll get even weaker plant. Riffing on this on the practicalness of it. Right.
Yeah, I think what I'm getting tripped, at least with the concept here, is that eventually, like, sacrifice just became, like, everyone agreed that it wasn't a good thing.
That it wasn't a good thing?
Yeah.
Like human sacrifice.
Yeah. Even animals.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a tough one because, I mean, you could argue that, well, yeah. I guess it's culture dependent.
Yeah.
Year time dependent.
Do you think that is as a concept of the potency and the truthfulness of Christianity? Because in Christianity, it's that Christ was the ultimate sacrifice. There was no other blood that could compete with his. There was blood of bulls, the blood of sheep. Like, it came to where there was no need to make any other sacrifice, because this was the ultimate sacrifice to reunite us back with our Maker, with God. Right. So,
that's the
prior to that kind of idea and that culture, people, they'll sacrifice bulls, they'll sacrifice chickens, they'll sacrifice cows, but then it was always like you had to top up, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Even in the Hebraic culture, forget going to a different culture that's not in the Bible. Even within that culture, they had to top up.
So I think you can extract the meaning from what you're reading to, at least at first glance, like, summarize that you can't sacrifice the easy things. Yeah, I think I'm trying not to make it too simple, because
no,
I know it's it is very interesting.
Yeah. But I like that you just grab what's the most useful thing out of it, Like, I don't think there's a problem with that.
Yeah, to me that seems like that's what they were trying to do, whatever version of sacrifice you're talking about. Where was that the main example? Those two, the...
Oh, dude, there was one that was worse.
Oh, no. What was it?
Oh my goodness, that one was bad.
Like kids bad? Or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what immediately comes to mind.
Yeah, it was. Oh my goodness, it was like, this was not only sacrifice of the sacrifice of the person, but not only one person, it was two people. It was like a boy and a girl. Not only that sacrifice, but also they will eat them.
Oh,
no. Dude, this stuff was crazy.
Okay, so
Do you want to hear more about that one?
No, well, hold on.
To give you that, just the context of it.
When was this happening? Does it say? Or what culture?
Let me see. Let me pull it. Let me pull it really quick because I want to give it context, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when somebody hears this kind of thing, it's like it's so repulsing now.
Definitely.
That without not even with context, it still is repulsing. But maybe there is something to be learned. Okay. Where was it? The little couple. Okay, here it is. Oof. So there's a ritual associated with the men's society in New Guinea that actually enacts the planting society myth of death. So New Guinea, to answer your question, that enacts the planting society myth of death, resurrection, and cannibalistic consumption. That's what I was saying there. There is a sacred field with drums going and the chants going and then pauses. This goes on for 4 or 5 days, on and on. Rituals are boring, they just wear you out and then you break through to something else. This is a something else.
Yeah, no one sleeps, so they can be like a little bit messed up when they do this.
Yeah, this is a something else. At last comes the great moment. There has been a celebration of real sexual orgy.
Oh, no.
The breaking of all rules. The young boys who are being initiated into manhood are now to have their first sexual experience. So it's an initiation.
What?
Right. There is a great shed of enormous logs supported by 2 uprights. So just imagine logs that kind of held up, right? Like a bunch of logs. A young woman comes in ornamented as a deity, and she is brought to lie down in this place beneath the great roof. So she's under the roof. The boys, 6 or so, with the drums going and chanting one after another, have their first experience of intercourse with the girl. So maybe they're like teenagers, I bet. Yeah. Because I bet for this culture, their initiation into manhood, maybe 12, 13, 11 over there. So, the boys, 6 or so, with the drums going and chanting, one after another, have their first experience of intercourse with the girl. And when the last boy is with her in full embrace, the supports are withdrawn, the logs drop, and the couple is killed. There is the union of male and female again. There is a union of begetting, so life, and death. They are both the same thing. Then the little couple, this is the part that I was telling you, I was like, no, that already happened. Why would this still have to happen? Then the little couple is pulled out and roasted and eaten that very evening.
So is the last boy and the girl?
Yeah. Yeah. The ritual is a repetition of the original act of killing of a god, followed by the coming of... So I guess he is giving interpretation. The ritual is a repetition of the original act of the killing of a god, followed by the coming of food from the dead savior. So this is the part that I'm wrestling with, because this is what it says next. And I was like, that got me thinking. And truly, for me, when I read such texts, I don't go like, okay, I'm like, oh, that sounds horrific. But why were they doing that? Even if it's evil, like how will they arrive to that? So this is what it says. That got me thinking like, okay, let me reflect a little bit deeper. The ritual is a repetition of the original act of the killing of a god, followed by the consuming of food from the dead savior. In the sacrifice of the Mass, the Catholic Mass, you are taught that this is the body and the blood of the Savior. You take it to you and you turn it inward, and there he works within you. So when you're doing communion, this is the body and the blood of Christ, right? You take that, and symbolically it's supposed to wash all impurities within you, right? I don't agree with that connection, obviously. I'm not saying I agree with cannibalistic consumption of...
Yeah, of course.
Of whatever. But it just had me thinking past what does that act represent? When we take and we say, this is my blood, or this is my body, Eat it as a remembrance of me. This is the blood.
I wonder if what he's talking about is that I think in some branches of Catholicism, they do believe that once the priest blesses the communion, it really turns, like, for real turns into the
the blood,
like real blood, real body.
Yeah. So let's even
is that what he's saying?
That's what he's saying. Okay. That's what he's insinuating for sure. But let's even say symbolically, when you take communion, what do you like? We say this is the body of Christ. This is the blood of Christ.
Wait, you can't just forget about what you just read.
No. Sorry, I'm not.
Before you move to that,
go ahead.
You probably have to make a jump cut there when you describe some of that. But that's what and that's exactly kind of what I'm saying about why some Christians would rather believe that Jesus was killed by the Romans versus it was meant to be from God. Because then I would think these people that are doing this believe their gods are real and have powers, right?
Yes.
So in that concept or that culture, those gods want that to happen.
Yes. Yeah. And those people are reenacting that because they believe it. Not even they believe. It's not a belief in their head. Like they act it out because they truly believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then God also truly wanted Jesus to suffer. Like, it's a comparison, right?
Oh yeah, I see.
So like, and earlier what I was saying about, like, at some point, like, sacrifice just was outlawed by social norms, right? So maybe you could argue then that all those sacrifices, maybe even including Jesus, had a little bit of like bad. You know?
A little bit of
evil, a little bit of bad in them, a little bit of you can even be as like reductive as like human, like a human factor. Not so much a God factor.
Seeing humans suffering like that repulsed humans. Do you think, back to that question I asked earlier?
Well, not just that, like humans almost messed upness, like, was part of what contributed for all those traditions to keep happening. Whoever either you want to call that, like, they became that through culture, or there's literally evil spirits that influence them all. However you want to, how abstract or realistic you want to be, like, there's a little bit of human interference that I think should be rejected.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I agree because I don't think human sacrifice should be practiced. Yeah, because I wouldn't want somebody to sacrifice me,
especially children. Jesus.
Yeah, especially children.
I guess if you're an adult, because you could argue, like, if you're an adult, there's some cultures that, well, that's not true. Who knows if this is true? But I believe I read somewhere that there's some cultures where if you get older, a certain age, you kind of go and
you live out there and they
die. Yeah. So, I guess you're doing that to yourself.
I think those were the early, the Nordic cultures, what are those guys called? Viking culture, maybe. Whatever peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like, so you do not become a burden to your society, right?
Yeah. I guess if you have that decision, kind of you can do that. But yeah, like, you can't say that all that you just read was just evil. I know you might want to, like, analyze it, right? But, like, come on.
No, for me, I still have to analyze it. Oh, no, really, you do. Okay. Like, yes, I think that coming from it spiritually, specifically, let me say, coming from that angle, it's like you have to, you're sacrificing to what end? To what And I think maybe that's the key difference between when we're talking about Christ and all these other ones, right? Like the end that Christ was going to the cross for was to reunite us to God, to give us, to be the bridge, to give us a path back to God. Because we sinned, we got kicked out of the blissful presence of God, and this is obviously with a Christian interpretation on it. That act was itself a reconnecting us back to God. I think. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that would make sense, because then the other alternative is that it's just God is like torturous.
Yeah. And then if you look at it that way, because then also within the Christian view is that Christ was fully man and fully God. So it's like God had to come and experience the humiliation of man. Like we are the ones who killed him. That's the other part that I feel like it negates the Roman argument there, because I feel like we should put ourselves in the, like, we as human being, we should put ourselves in the view of that Roman guy.
Yeah, I guess when I say
ones who killed him.
When I say Romans, you're right. When I say Romans, I mean like humans.
Yeah. But if we look at it that way, then it even magnifies the sacrifice way more. That it's not only were you good, we punished you as if you were bad. And we punished you in the worst way possible. Like we said, you were not good. Then we crucified you for it. And still within that, you still loved, and you still said, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. So I think then when it's framed in that context, that sacrifice looks way different, just because of the end of it, than all these other ones.
It's a tough line, man, because you could then argue that if someone God's calls for torture of kids, like,
I don't think so. Because I don't see any example of that, like even in scripture.
No, I'm saying in general, right? Like, if at some point someone had a religion that called for that, and that was supposed to bring good, then it was fair. Which I'm not saying is the case, but I feel like there has to be a little more there than just like because it was good ultimately.
Is it because it was good? Or because it was God's plan? So it had to be good automatically.
Well, that God's plan part is tough too, because that's if you believe that. I don't know. I mean,
within the Bible itself is what I'm saying. With the way I'm saying it was God's plan is there's a scripture where it's like, did the God of this world, meaning Satan, did if Satan had knew more, if he was wiser, he would not have crucified Christ. Because by him crucifying Christ is how we've gotten reconnected back to God. So why he wiser, he would have let him be. He would not have killed him.
Well, if the idea right now is that the consequence of the acts ultimately become positive, good, however you want to call them, I would rather go to that route if I had to say, versus because you can then argue, well, there was no goodness about torturing these people or these kids or the winner of this
the basketball.
There's nothing really good about it, right?
Yeah,
I would rather go there, because if you go to the route of, because growing up, I myself growing up in the Protestant version of Christianity. Yep.
And you guys are Methodist.
When as we were growing up, the idea was that like God's plan was God's plan, and He knows what's gonna happen and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually, I feel like if you 100% believe in that, it's tough to then deny that it's God's plan when bad things happen.
Mm.
So like one of the biggest like arguments, which is fair, of people that don't believe in, or even believe like, yeah, sure, don't believe in Christianity or in a God, is that there's all these just terrible things that happen in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wars, countless of awful stuff.
Yeah.
And the way that I think, the best way that I've heard Christians explain why that's outside of God is because He's given humans the ability to have free will, so they make their own decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and within those decisions there's a decision of destroying each other, right?
Yeah, and there's consequence
Yeah.
to each one of their decisions.
So then if there's free will, then although God's plan is a thing, He doesn't just
Like override
the stuff.
Yeah.
Because then if it does, then no one has free will, then there's no love.
Pretty,
It comes down to love, right?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, I feel like that's the craziest connection, though.
Yeah.
That it's the free will that proves that there is love.
Yeah.
Because if you love somebody, you let them choose. If I was forcing you to do something.
So I don't know if it's beneficial to say, at least in the Christian point of view, like this was God, for Jesus to die was God's plan. It's more so like for Jesus to die, the goal is that from His death, good would come out of it. Because if we make that association, we can also say sacrificing humans is not good because there wasn't anything good that came out of those sacrifices. But is this too tough? Because then you can argue like they sacrificed the gentleman that won the game.
Yep.
And then the next day there was abundant rain, and then crops grew. You know.
Then they associated that act and onwards.
So this is, I think this is I don't know. It's just all speculation, really.
I think the bit of it that makes it not speculation is in the instance of Jesus Himself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that is stated in the Bible, like that it is God's plan that they will arise. I mean, the prophecies to begin with, let alone just the end of it, but the prophecies of how He will come, where He will come from,
Mm-hmm.
what will happen, like, and the prophets are pretty much God's megaphone. They just speak the word of God. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, He puts it there, and you go and you put it out. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think within the Christian version you can say that it was not God's plan. And then number two, going back to the point of Jesus being God and man at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
If it was not His plan, He could have just pulled out. But like, nah.
So
I ain't about.
So you think there's prophecies that never come true,
Do I think there's prophecies that never came true?
or will come true?
I think there's still more. I don't think all of them the prophecies of the Bible have all been fulfilled, but a lot of them have been fulfilled.
Yeah,
Like,
but do you think
I don't know if it's
do you
like
think some of them will never happen?
in my lifetime? No. No, in my lifetime, yes. Pardon me.
Yeah,
But I don't
I'm saying
think
overall.
No.
So then there's no free will, because they're all gonna happen.
No, I don't think that negates free will.
Yeah, because then.
'Cause
it does.
Let me give it. The.
You know what I'm trying to say, though.
I see. Let me give
Yeah.
it an example to your point, to Stillman your point, is the example of Judas. I think there is a I don't know. I'm not say if it's a prophecy, but Judas playing the role that Judas played,
Mm-hmm.
right? Did he have free will, or was he appointed to play that role?
Mm.
And even if he didn't play that role, will someone else, like, you can play that equation all the way to the end, right? There will still have been someone to play that role, because this, I don't want to say narrative to rob of its oomph, but just for the sake of conversation, like the narrative itself and the occurrences of how everything had to go down was there had to be somebody to betray Christ for Christ to be crucified, right? And to be sold out to then be crucified. So your point of free will, do you think Judas was predestined to betray Christ? And if he was, then there's that would be evidence for your point.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd like to think that God's given all of us free will to fulfill his, if he has a plan, fulfill it. So yeah, technically he could have just not betrayed him.
Yeah, he had choice.
Yeah,
he could have chosen not to like grumble about the shekels.
I guess you could argue then that to help your point, that it depends on the prophecy, right? Because I don't believe the prophecy said like Judas is going to betray Jesus, right? It was like there will be a man or there will be a situation where you will be betrayed. Like it's more abstract.
Yeah.
So then I guess someone else could fulfill his role, and it wouldn't be Judas. It would be, I don't know, Ephraim.
Hey.
But I don't know. It's complicated because you're also talking about all this in the Protestant point of view thing. Because depending on what Christian you ask,
I don't think there'll be a disagreement on the free will part of it.
So. Oh no. Yeah. On the prophecy part and the I mean even the reason for the sacrifice. Because we're trying to, compare that to humans deciding to sacrifice people or animals.
Like cultures throughout history.
Dang.
Because I don't. Maybe this is the part that we also have an agreement that you. Maybe not. Just as I was saying that, I had the thought of we're saying you can pull out the commonalities between all these different forms of sacrifice and say, oh, okay, if you sacrifice the good, you're doing good. Like you're not, you can plant good seeds and whatever, get stronger plant for the next season. But maybe what he's doing, Joseph Campbell, is not like, it's not the proper way to do it. That each different sacrifice or tradition of sacrifice cannot be compared. Like there is no uniting meta reason of why we're sacrificing.
That's true.
Yeah, because then it's hard to, like, to your example, like the one you asked me with the boy and the girl and the logs crashing on them and then them being eaten. You can't take that and say, and compare that to mass.
Yeah, to communion.
Yeah, to communion. But still, it got me thinking, like, what are we doing when we're taking communion?
Look, at some point in my life, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I decided that not everything has to be abstract. And not everything has to be overanalyzed. I feel like sometimes you can safely say what they're doing is just bad. It's just evil. There's no other reason. And an example like that is really close to what I'm saying. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
No, I know you don't, but
like that there is definitely. I don't think I can say that's good.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't think it's where it's back again.
Not just not good. It's bad. That's not.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. That's evil.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but I don't think we should shy away though. This is what maybe that's why I'm having a little different view. I don't think we should shy away from going and exploring, but at least for me, I enjoy that process.
Listen,
maybe that's a difference.
No, I understand, and it's tough too for me, or at least in my thought process, because then you're saying also, then you can argue there's some good sacrifices and there's some bad sacrifices,
and that's why we have to go through and mesh through.
Oof. People dying is rough. You know, because like maybe the free will of deciding to be sacrificed is the key. Maybe.
Because I think
it has to be it.
It does.
Because if the man that won the game and got sacrificed, like maybe after like his family received honor and
yes,
they all knew like, yeah, that's the mother
like
of this guy and
the best.
Yeah, and good things happened to them, and then maybe in their minds they were like,
maybe his name was chiseled to in the rock that then washed out.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that brought good for his family in the future, you know, like, but that was a decision he made.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like Jesus too, like that's the decision he made. I don't think these kids made the decision.
No.
So
yeah.
I think that's a good one. That's a good space we can probably settle some of this.
I fully agree with you, because I think of also the martyrs. If you martyr somebody, right, and they're fighting so hard for a cause, that's the bit of the free will you're saying.
Oh, yes.
If they're fighting so hard for the cause, you may kill the Kendrick Lamar raps about it, right?
Yeah.
But the one in front of the gun lives forever. Right? Like the message of the martyr that is killed lives forever, outlives him maybe even to a greater degree than he would have lived if he was embodied in physical flesh.
And
so it's like the level of the sacrifice magnifies the impact. Going back again to the good.
Yeah.
Right? If they're standing for the good.
Okay. that's right? A good point to settle, because I was just like struggling.
Yeah. I agree. And that part gives free will back to the person.
Yeah.
Going to the captain rather than the kids who are under the under the logs.
I think that's a decent, maybe not perfect, but it's a decent way to differentiate if at least the intentions of the sacrifice were good or were fair, or I guess good. Because I'm sure there's cultures that they like kidnap people and then they sacrifice them. Like, there's no free will there.
Yeah.
So you could say really easy, like,
that's evil. Or they're sacrificing it to their gods, and it's against all their whatever evil entity spirits, and it's against the will of that person. So can we say for sacrifice to be good, free will must be? Yeah. Okay. I think we can agree on that. Whoa. But then we're still going back to the basketball player though, bro.
Why? I mean, he joined the game. He knew he scored. He was gonna be Neymar out there, and he's gonna lose his life. Man, what an unstable roster of players in that league.
Yeah. MVP. That transfer, put him on the chopping block.
That transfer window was crazy.
Woo. That would have been intense. But also, dude, I don't think our mind can comprehend that, because we're not in that.
Yeah, in that time.
Yeah, in that time, and also in that environment where, like, that's the valuable possession. So they must have viewed life differently.
The closer example to that is, you could argue that when World War I and World War II were happening, people were enlisting to go when they were young, and
that's true.
It was like the honorable thing to do. That is
very true.
Oh man. Although it wasn't like a direct sacrifice, like there was a lot in the line.
Whew, especially World War I. Man, I remember listening to that Dan Carlin history podcast I've recommended, and he was saying how World War I was the first time, because the reason why too also a lot of men flocked to it. Previous wars before that, there was a heavy component of what you're saying, like the honor and the, like you go, the valor, right? Like you're there, close to the enemy, we beat them, like. But World War I was he calls it a meat grinder. Because and that image just has stuck in my head to think of it, because truly he was like, that was the first time where machine gun weapons were there, and literally it was just like with I don't know if it's within the first few months 1 million French had died. The numbers were ridiculous, crazy, like ridiculous, bro. Because there was no like the honor bit. Oh, this is the other point that he told that drove the point home. Is like the French showed up with like the Napoleonic sort of gear, with like tall looking hats and whatever they had on their hats that just made them targets.
Yeah.
Target practice for machine guns. Zzz, draw the Z and put them down. So I feel like in that essence, World War I was more like the children under the logs.
Well, I guess the example was that you had the free will to go.
That's true.
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but that's the opposite of it is when countries require you to enlist.
Uh-huh. I bet most of those countries required them to enlist at that point.
Back then?
Yeah. The European ones.
Yeah.
But also I think there's still, back to your point, I agree with you. There is still regardless of the meat grinder situation in the field, that person, I think they felt honor in defending their country.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. And they would rather, like they're willing to put their life on the line.
Make the sacrifice.
Like the sacrifice back again. They're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they ultimately made it out of there. So,
yep.
Yeah. Every time I go visit my in-laws, I guess here most of the people I hang out with are my age. And when I go visit Ali's family, they all have a lot of really cool examples of like, family that was in World War II or friends' parents were in World War II and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it is true, like, you can't imagine how tough those people were. Like, at that young an age, like, stories of, like, some of them, like, pretending for, like, a week to be dead.
Man.
While people were, like, stepping on them because they were trying to find people that were still alive. And there were people... knife. Yeah, and there were people just there pretending for a while till they walked through them and then they got out of there somehow, like... It's admirable.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Just that's how. I think I mentioned it briefly in another podcast, but I always remember stories like that, and that's why I always choose to believe that like humans are gonna figure out a way out. Either if there's a conflict, like international conflict, politics conflict, like all that stuff. Like I would like to hope that just the resilience of humans is not only like the same way genetically we're wired to do things. I feel like humans are also genetically wired to like be resilient that way. So yeah, sacrifice might be, I think, is one of the things that differentiates us from animals.
Yeah.
Putting your immediate needs.
And it's interesting. It gives another example in that book of like this random guy who saved some, whatever, I'll spare you the details. But in essence, there was like a teenager trying to jump off a bridge and these cops pulled up. And as he was jumping, the first one who got there like went and grabbed him. And him too, he almost dragged him down to the bottom. But the second one grabbed the first one and they pulled him. And then they were interviewing the first one and they asked him like he was doing that act out of his own free will, you can say. Why would you risk your life to save him? And he was like, I wouldn't have lived with myself having let him die.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems there is just such a, back to that whole interplay of if you're not willing to give and that's where he gives the example of Christ, that he who wants to have his life must first give it. Right? Like if you're not willing to give your life to save that one, himself, he could not have lived with himself. He would not have been able to live with himself. So I think it connects to what you're saying with the soldiers.
Imagine these players on the Mayan team. They're 1-1. There's overtime, 5 minutes left. the net is open, and then the guy just gives him a pass at the end. He gives him a last pass, like, you score.
Bro, MVP!
You got it. You got it. Mm-hmm. I have a family.
Hey. Yeah. But is it that they view, going back to the Mayan guy, because I'm still very fascinated by, like, just, their psychology.
Yeah.
I think that's for me what's, because the societal bit gets a little murky,
mm-hmm.
right? But to the person making that act, hey, and I think maybe this is just an extension of our Matador conversation. Come to think of it.
No.
It is. It's
I mean, it's all connected, but...
For me, at least.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm saying it's the more facing death. Yeah. Hey, this whole podcast started there too, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
But must be something to learn from it. For that basketball player, like, what was going on through his mind,
Yeah. It had to, and I know this from being from Mexico and learning about it growing up, but it was just super ingrained in the culture. Like, sacrifice was like a common thing.
Yeah.
And it was also not like the first few cultures that started doing, like, it was just traditions of doing that. So I think, and that's why I always, I don't know if it's genetically or something, but I think the Mexico, Latin America, Central America culture is just very, like, they're very connected with death. And I think it comes from that.
They have a day of death.
They have Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
They have a religion that's we mentioned it briefly.
Yeah,
religion.
Dude, you need to do a little deep dive on that one, man.
I will look into that.
Yep. I'm curious. Just to, like,
it's really interesting. Some places have like statues. We're talking specifically about La Santa Muerte is the Holy Death. It's a symbol, right? But a deity, something that some people preach, especially more so in the Latin cultures. But I always thought that maybe that's why that's the remnants of that culture. Because there's a lot of I think at least Mexico, I'm not about other countries, but they're very connected to death, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is.
They're a little less, I wouldn't say afraid, but they're more aware of it.
Do you think they live differently? Because I know just the culture there is very familial oriented. Like, family is such a,
I think so,
core part of it. Do you think it's because there is also that element of, like, everybody knows death is here? It's not like, I just see it in movies. Like, you literally have holidays and stuff on it. So it's kind of like writing that obituary, not obituary, what is it called? Eulogy. Writing a personal eulogy. It just brings it closer. You're like, oh, whew, let me actually do let me do the things that matter.
Yeah.
Let me arrange my life in a way. I do the things that matter.
Yeah, I believe it. I think so.
What are the bad parts of it? Of the remnants of the basketball player?
I don't know. You could argue that maybe people are a little more. I guess it's not always the best to be desensitized to it. To not ignore your fellow human position on death, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Or you end up, like, viewing life too lightly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because if you take it too seriously, that's also not good.
Yeah. You end up being possessed by the spirit of death.
Yeah. Man.
Is it meant to be a balance, or is it meant to be you're fully living within the spirit of life? I think for me that's always been one of the it's like things that show God has a comedian born in him. That breathing is dying and it's living at the same time. Like at the oxidation at the molecular stuff level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all dying right now.
Yep. Like that so our life should be more of a countdown than it's more of a countdown than a count up.
I've always been I'm never gonna do this because I don't want to freak out myself, but there is some medical tests that you can do to tell you what your actual age is.
Oh,
have you ever seen those?
I haven't seen them, but I've heard of Brian. Is it Brian Johnson?
Not sure.
The guy who wants to like extend his life and he's been doing all these different tests. Is that the same?
I think that was just. It's not the same. It's not. He didn't invent it or anything. Yeah, it was already a thing and it's
popularized.
It's a data that he uses to kind of talk about it. But yeah, you could go somewhere and they tell you, your liver is this many years old, your eyes are these many years old.
I think I would want to know.
I don't know if I would want to know.
No. I mean, what's the difference between that and
knowing
that you're only gonna live to 120 max?
Because I don't know if you want to receive good news, because there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, there is. Like for him, once he started realizing, I know the main thing that they've been making fun of.
That's not a good example because
his nighttime erection. He's now up to 3 hours, right. But I think it indicates a different health.
That's not a good example because he's a little cuckoo.
Like he's gone to the extreme.
He's a little obsessed. Yeah.
But still, I feel like I'd rather know than
just
being
go get
your
yearly checkups.
Yeah.
And then eat healthy and drink water, have fun. It's not that complicated.
But why not go and check the liver?
I think that might not be a bad idea once you're older. At our age,
I feel like once, maybe. I feel like we at that age we should be doing this. Yeah, I'll do one. I like that whole way of looking at life. Tim Ferriss, let me really go and experiment and see exactly how this is, where I can make my life healthy. Because I think, contrary to what you're saying, to do it when you're older, if you do it when you're younger, then when you're older, you'll be good. But if you wait until you're older to start looking into it, man, you might find that spleen ain't spleening no more, bro.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
To go that deep though, to know how old your years are, just seems like a little much.
Yeah.
There's definitely utility to it, and
I'm glad he's doing it so that we can get the information. I'm grateful to him because, dude, he takes so many pills.
That takes a lot.
Brian Johnson guy, yeah.
Ooh. I saw a video of him talking about it once. I actually thought it was really cool, really interesting, but it's hard to. I actually think it's the most benefit I got from looking into him is that he actually gave you 5 things that you can do that will improve anyone's health.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you have money to do all these tests and buy all these vitamins. But if he can summarize it that way, I think that's good.
I see.
Good enough.
I see. Yeah. Dude, I was surprised how high sleep was up on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeping is insane.
Are you still not drinking coffee?
I'm not drinking coffee. Decaf. I'm drinking decaf.
How did you wean yourself? Because I've been trying to wean myself.
Out of coffee?
Out of coffee, and then there's some days I'm like, ooh, let me do one. Then it's a cycle. Once I take a coffee, but nowadays I've weaned down to 1 cup. I used to take a cup in the afternoon, and it will just mess up my whole sleep. I'll sleep, and I'll wake up, and I'll not feel rested. Yeah.
Well, I think it's more of a matter of deciding.
Okay, free will.
Yeah.
Yeah?
A little bit. Because it's hard for me at least to do things I'm bad at doing things in the middle. Yeah. Which is a benefit and a curse, because the curse is that because I don't like to do kind of things halfway, or at least be too in the middle.
Yeah.
I never do anything. So, but if I decide like, okay, this is going to be my choice for the next however many long.
Yep.
Then it's very easy for me to just
go all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might just be a personality thing. If there's all sorts of ways though.
Yeah.
The easiest way for me is just to like cut it. Because like if I have a half a cup or whatever.
Yep.
3/4 of a cup, 1 cup.
But
that's why.
That's kind of how I've started.
Same
like
thing
I was doing 12 ounces. Now I'm down to 10.
Same thing with drinking. Like if you stop drinking, 1 drink is 2.
Yeah.
So like, same thing. Like if you're in a stage where you're not drinking, just don't drink at all. I did cut diet stuff, like completely.
What do you mean?
Diet foods, drinks.
Oh, like Diet Cokes and okay.
Yeah.
But were you drinking a lot?
I was drinking Diet Cokes and Diet Dr. Peppers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Diet Dr. Pepper is the best diet soda in the world.
I've never had it.
It's delicious.
I've never been a consumer of the diets, man.
It's supposed to not have sugar.
But there has some other sugar though, no? Like fake, artificial sugars?
Yeah, those aren't great for you either. Soda just overall is just bad for you.
Yeah.
I don't drink soda really either.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But when I do.
1 is 2, 2 is 3. Give me that 2 liter, baby.
Bro, the best soda. Let me see if you agree.
Okay.
McDonald's.
You're
Sprite.
I've heard that school of thought.
Yeah. What is
that McDonald's sodas are better for some reason.
They are.
No.
They are. Dude, you drink it and you just feel like a tingly. And the bubbles are just like and you feel it has an extra punch of refreshment. That's how it feels.
Why so you're telling me there's literally a difference?
Yes.
So but what do you think is the difference?
No, the theory that I've had is that they have either because they mix it in place or something, it's fresher than the one that is already stored in a can. Something about they have the concentrate that they have there is
seems like a good myth.
Bro, it's not a myth. I'm telling, experientially.
We gotta ask someone that works at McDonald's.
Yeah, we do.
That wouldn't be hard. You look that up.
Oh yeah. I'll
look it up for next week.
I'll check it out for next time. We see why McDonald's has. You don't think so? Have you ever had their Sprite?
I mean, it makes sense if that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But what we should do is a blind test. We can do that for one of the episodes. We'll line up like
easy.
Yeah.
That would be pretty simple.
Yeah, we'll line up like 3 different McDonald's and 3 whatever, and then we actually see if maybe I've just faked it, like if it's psychological,
That would be pretty easy to do. Yeah, I'm down.
That'd be a cool video actually.
You can
right before we talk about sacrifice.
All you need is one. What do you like, Coke or what did you say? Sprite. You just need one regular Sprite.
Like a.
You need a bottle Sprite.
Yep.
A can Sprite,
yep.
And then a Sprite from McDonald's.
Okay.
And then you need 3 cups from McDonald's, or I guess 2 extra, and then you put the can in one of the McDonald's cup, and then the plastic bottle in one of the.
Everything. Or we can just put everything in red Solo cups and label them.
Well, I would have to do that. Because then you're gonna know.
That's what I'm saying. You'll do it, then I can do it. Like we'll be.
I think my test should be something else. Well, it'll come up. I'll think of something.
For you don't think McDonald's is
not even close.
You don't? Do you think it's worse?
I think it's the same. It just has ice, and the ice is a little more thin.
Bro, it has bubbles that are of a different nature.
They probably sacrifice something in the back.
Ronald McDonald's soul in the back.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's continue this topic on sacrifice. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. I'm just curious on why. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's an extra weight that has been put on it just because every time now that I hear Jordan Peterson speaks, Dr. Peterson, he doesn't go much without saying about how sacrifice is one of the most important like lessons in the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
you should say because of the Bible, not because of Jordan Peterson said something.
No. Because the Bible. But I'm saying I've read it, but I didn't see it
as clear.
As clear as the way. He's a good pointer. But I think, truly, very good correction. It leads back to the original source code.
Yeah.
And then the source code should be able to tell you the depthness of depth.
Source code, you're a nerd.
It is the source code.
Bible nerd.
Wouldn't you say? The source code of them all?